Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, very happy to see so many people so early in the morning. Okay, so Stefanos already told you about this. So I really found a building directly in nature 2 years ago. And last year I was here on stage to tell you about the idea to turn this into a co-living. And in the meantime, we have made some progress. For those that are new to Bansko, I came here about 8 years ago with a friend, with Uwe. And as we can see from Irina, we had the crazy idea to start a co-working space in a place with 0 nomads. And in the meantime, this has turned into something amazing. So I think we are one of the most dynamic co-working communities for digital nomads in Europe. We have one of the largest nomad events here. We have many people that moved here. And this all started about 8 years ago. And my biggest learning from this is like, to be an overnight success, you need to start a long time ago. So the first years we were, don't know, 10, 20, 30, 100 people, and now we are hundreds of people. The reason why I came to Bulgaria, and I think also why most nomads are attracted to Bulgaria, is of course the 10% flat income tax. So my background is actually in enterprise software. I sold a startup many, many years ago. And then I started thinking about how do I maintain my money, and of course paying less taxes is always very helpful. Also, Bulgaria is very affordable. So when we came here, apartments were very, very affordable. Unfortunately, COVID happened and remote work. So now there's more and more people from Sofia, and prices are going up a little bit, but prices go up all around the world. And I think Bulgaria is still very, very affordable. So you can have lunch for 10 leva, €5. You can have dinner for €10. You can go to the hot springs for €5. So it's like all very, very affordable here. And of course, and this is also very important, Bulgaria is beautiful. It's much less developed, but also this means it's much less regulated. So there is more of this raw nature still available here. And I think also this is something that a lot of people like me are looking for, small town environments where life is easy and clean and great. Yeah, and as I mentioned, so somehow I've developed this into a digital nomad hub. And now, of course, a lot of people are asking me, Matthias, why are you looking for something else? Haven't we found paradise here already? And yes, it is. Bansko is a paradise. But it also became clear to me that we did a few things a little bit wrong. So when I started the co-working together with my partner Uwe, basically it was our business. We tried to get more people into the business, and I'm a strong believer that communities should be owned by communities. But here in Bansko, somehow we failed. So it was always my business in the end. And this created some issues going forward, because then all of a sudden a lot of other businesses popped up in Bansko, and our community started to splinter a little bit. So instead of having everyone in the same community, I think now there's like 5 or 6 co-working spaces. There's 3 or 4 co-living spaces. And there's also like a lot of people that come here without being part of any of these communities, which means instead of having 150 people in one place, now we have like 50 people in 5 places. And all this made me think maybe there's a different model how we can do co-working and co-living. And I started to look around Bulgaria. So Bulgaria is full of amazing places. There's lots of buildings that are available and empty, because also Bulgarians are moving to the capital, to Sofia. And the government here built huge buildings in the past, and they're all available. So I was driving around and taking pictures of buildings, and I found a building about 45 minutes away from here that ticked all the boxes that I wanted to tick. So I wanted to build something together with a lot of other people, where I'm only one of many, and not like the head honcho. I wanted to go to a place where we can really build a destination for ourselves. So here in Bansko, there's in the winter season 20,000 tourists, and even though we nomads believe we are super important, we are simply not. For example, what annoyed me last year for Nomad Fest, I wanted to block one of the small side streets so that we can use it for a barbecue event. And the municipality initially agreed to it, and then last minute they canceled all this. And I thought, okay, if this is the kind of valuation we get here, then maybe this is not the right place. So I found a place where the mayor and the tourism minister renamed the street for us, the first street for digital nomads, Nomad Place 1, Semkovo. And little things like this show me if people want to work with nomads or if they just see us as like cash cows. So I wanted a place for ourselves, and I wanted to have something really big and iconic. I think communities need physical space, and I wanted a space that's big enough for us to do whatever we want to do. So I found a building that has 17,000 square meters in a place that is pretty cool and remote when you look at it. It's really remote like this. The next town is about 20 kilometers away. It's about 45 minutes here from Bansko. It's directly in nature. And a location like this has two big advantages. One advantage is we can party all night long. Nobody can call the police. First of all, there's no neighbors to call the police. And second of all, there's no police. So um, it's a really good place for this. And it also means that we can stay together. So for me, one inspiration was always Nomad Cruise, the events that Johannes is running, where hundreds of people are on a cruise ship for 2 weeks, and they spend a lot of time together because they are like on the same ship. You don't go somewhere else. And I think also in Bansko, initially we had this magic where we were all doing things together because there was not much else. And for Semkovo, this is also core of the idea. So we will offer everything that we want to do, but we offer this in our own building and for our own community. The building that we found was like an old socialist era hotel. We also found some of the old pictures. The building itself was built between 1982 and 1989. So the socialist government had a total of 2 years to enjoy it before their government fell apart. Then it wasn't used for a few years. A hotel company bought it 15 years ago, and about 5 years ago, they stopped operating it as a hotel, which means it's still in a reasonably good shape. And back then, this was really like a crown jewel of Bulgaria, the very iconic artworks inside the building, fantastic architecture, lots of high quality materials. And we are now using this to build our co-living Utopia. And we have three tenants, three pillars that we base this project on. So for me, most important is the community aspect. And community aspect in this project specifically means that we are owning this together. The model is people buy an apartment. If you buy an apartment, you become part of the co-living business. It's organized as a co-op. And this means that we all benefit from promoting this destination together. It's also built on the idea of collaboration and cooperation. And what does this mean? It means that we are not building a monolithic business where now this co-op has to run the restaurant and the shop and do all the events and run the yoga and rents out the skis, but rather we want other people to use our building as a platform to do amazing things there. And I think this together will really help to bring people to a destination that's pretty unique around the world. And we have a tour on Thursday and on Sunday when you can see the building. And when you look at this, it's a gorgeous building. We started to replace light bulbs a few months ago. I think in the meantime, we have replaced about 3,000 of them, and it lights up. And you can really see the former glory of this building, even for areas that we didn't even touch yet for renovation. Beautiful views to the mountains and to the forest, of course. And it will take a little bit of time to really transform this building. So the last 2 months, I think we removed 40 truckloads of trash, old furniture, old tiles, ceilings. We replaced a lot of water pipes, electricity cables, and so on. But we can slowly see the progress of this. Good. So we have a team of people there. We have about 20 construction guys that we hire directly for us. We have external teams that deal with apartment renovation. Everything there is absolutely ginormous. So I am not from real estate or construction, but there's truckloads of materials coming in and there's truckloads of materials leaving. And it's really interesting to see also the progress. So my background is more software. And in software, often it's very difficult to know like how close are we actually to being done. Sometimes there's just a little bit that needs to flip it and everything is great. But when it comes to construction, you can actually see, okay, there's a new wall, there's a new light, there's now water in the pool that wasn't there before. So it's pretty cool to see the progress of this whole project. What makes me most proud, we started to actually renovate the apartments. So in the upper left corner, we can see what the rooms looked like before. We asked then an interior designer to come up with a modular furniture concept, what we can do with these units, and now we have the first units that are actually furnished. At the moment, nobody sleeps there yet, except our workers, so we will open in the winter season. But you can already envision like what this is going to be like when it's done. We also had the idea that the units, especially the larger units, should have their own kitchen. So we came up with a concept of custom furniture that really takes the maximum out of these rooms and makes them very nice and cozy. We also have a few other crazy ideas. So we will build our own restaurant. We have about 300 square meters of open floor plan co-working areas. We have a bar. We have a communal kitchen where about 150 people can cook at the same time with different cooking stations. Also, I think this is really pushing the envelope what co-living can be and at what scale you can do co-living. The location has a lot of like natural charm. So we can go hiking and mountain biking in the summer. It's a small ski resort in the winter with four small T-bar type ski lifts. The mayor wants to build a bigger ski lift. There's a fun park there. If you come with us on Sunday on the tour, we will also do a hike to the bear park. There's a bear sanctuary with dancing bears that no longer dance and a few other things. And then, of course, a building will have a lot of facilities. So we have a pool. Already the unicorn is floating there. At the moment, the pool temperature is more Wim Hof style. But at some point, we will also do amazing pool parties in there. We want to have a climbing room in the building. We have a bowling alley. So there's like many facilities that you can do at the scale of this type of project. And we have already started to run a few events. So frequently we do tours, not only with you during Bansko Nomad Fest, but every month we do a tour to Semkovo with people from Sofia. Some of the weekends we already started to do some barbecues there. We are hosting larger scale events, smaller scale events, just to try out the building. And you can already envision like how this is gonna be. So it's pretty cool. Also, the municipality is supporting us. They threw us a winter festival here with all the cookery and the Bulgarian dancers on stage. And you can really imagine what it's gonna be like when there's hundreds of nomads there every day. The project is structured also in a way that I haven't seen very often before. So basically our model is people can buy an apartment. This is private property, this is yours. And everyone who buys an apartment becomes part of the co-op that operates the co-living areas. I'm an employee of this co-op, so people voted for me. If at any point they are no longer interested in having me run it, they can vote for someone else. We make many decisions in the co-op, so we have about 70 owners. Some of them are here. Like for example, Nico, you can recognize them on the green shirts. If you want one of these shirts, buy an apartment, you get a shirt. And so we have a digital governance platform where these owners decide on things like budgets. Now for the renovation, we had a lot of brainstorming among owners. How should we do it? Should we do carpet? Should we do laminate? What type of laminate? What type of doors? What do we do with sound insulation? So it's really interesting to see such a large group of people working together on the project, and I really enjoy it. Last year, when I was here on stage, we didn't even own the building. In the meantime, we own the building. We have sold about 144 apartments, which is about 2/3 of the apartments have been sold. We have 1/3 left, about 80 apartments, and they are currently selling at a steady pace. We use the revenue from the apartments to actually renovate the co-living areas. At the moment, we have way more money on the bank account than we can spend. But all the future apartments will flow into facilities. Like, for example, we want to have more solar panels. At the moment, we have 50 kilowatts, but we are thinking of maybe 250 kilowatts to be more energy independent, also more cost effective for operations. We are trying to buy more land around the building from future revenue. And I think we will also upgrade a lot of the facilities with the income from the apartments. We have 70 owners at the moment from 30 different countries. Of course, there's always a few Germans because I'm German and my initial network was very German focused. But it's also good to see like people from all over the world joining. We have some Brazilians, we have people from New Zealand, of course we have Americans. We have about 20% Bulgarians, which is also very interesting here in Bansko. I never really managed to get a lot of like the local community, because if you are a digital nomad from Bulgaria, then normally you want to go to Bali and not to Bansko. If you live in Sofia, to Nomad. But Semkovo is a little bit different. So in Bulgaria, the startup ecosystem is growing, and we have 20% founders from Sofia that have startup companies. Most are already a little bit more successful, like between 50 and 500 people on their teams. And for them, this is more like a weekend thing. We want to use this to build an incubator there and to really tap into the local ecosystem. There's also a few interesting things happening in Semkovo itself. So the municipality has a 5-year development plan, and as part of the plan is they want to build a ski lift, a chairlift, about 3 kilometers long, which would significantly expand the ski area and tie these other smaller lifts together. And the best thing is the base station of this chairlift is supposed to start very close to our building, so the building would become ski in and ski out. Which could be very attractive, even though, in my experience, even here in Bansko, a lot of the nomads that come in the winter, they don't ski or snowboard, they just come for the community. But still having ski in and ski out would be amazing. Also, the resort itself, there are some development plans. At the moment, it's basically our building, a few smaller cabins, 1 hotel with 40 rooms, and 2 university guest houses. And the municipality wants to build an alpine-style village further away from our building, where they have small, up to 2-story high buildings that they want to use for ski tourism, for nature tourism. And I think this is very exciting for us. The other big project that the municipality is doing at the moment, they are widening the road. So the mayor managed to get 5 million euro for the road expansion. This has been ongoing since about a year. They started dynamiting all the rocks to make the road wider. Then it turned out removing all these rocks from the street takes a lot of time because they're kind of heavy. So the project is a little bit delayed, but they're working on it, and they hope that it will be ready before the winter season. Already now, of course, the road is very drivable, but this is part of the municipality's larger expansion plan for Semkovo. The other exciting thing that's happening is we have a German movie crew that's doing a cinema-length documentary about the project. They have started filming us already long before we bought the building. I think also this required a little bit of confidence of the director because she didn't know if this project would really go ahead. But now they're coming here with a crew every month or so for a few days to film this. They film all our highlights, but they also, of course, film when I'm stuck in snow somewhere. So it will be interesting to see when this is ready. They aim to release this next year in spring after our opening and then tie everything together. So this might be an interesting nomad movie in the making. If you want to experience Semkovo, and I think you should experience Semkovo regardless if you see Bulgaria as your future home or if you just want to check it out, we have a tent in the park where we also serve ice cream at 2. So if you come at 2, we have ice cream. We have some people there that will tell you about which apartments are available. We have some footage of the building that you can see what it looks like inside and outside. And of course, I will be there. We also do 2 activities that should be in the app at some point in the future. One is on Thursday, we do a smaller tour in the afternoon. And on Sunday, we do a full day tour to Semkovo, where we not only see the building, but also do a small barbecue, about a 2.5-hour downhill hike to the bear sanctuary that I was talking about, so that you can really see the area. If you are not in the app, you can also come to our booth to sign up for these activities. Thank you.